If you're watching this video, then you've probably already downloaded the worksheets from my website and you're just looking for a little help filling them out. If you haven't downloaded them yet, you can find the steps for doing so in part 1 of the Clamshell Box tutorial found here. Or go to my website, handmadebooksandjournals.com. Besides the worksheets, the one other tool that you might need is a ruler that shows 1/16 of an inch. This will help with the initial measurements of the object that you want to keep in the clamshell box, so you can fill out the worksheets, as well as with measuring and cutting the materials you'll make the box out of. The ultimate goal with these worksheets is to have the left sides fully filled out, giving you a roadmap for cutting all of the materials needed to create this box. Start with the clamshell bookboard worksheet and the object you are building the box for. Be very precise with the measurements of the original object, down to the 1/16 of an inch, and then place these measurements in the length, width, and depth blanks at the top of this worksheet. It's important that these are accurate because every other measurement is dependent on these three figures. By the way, if my depth measurement seems off, it's because I intend to make a second book to go in this box, so I've doubled that particular measurement. So from here, you just need to fill in the blanks and then do a little math. Start by looking for any lowercase a's, b's, or c's, since you now know what those are and can fill those in without doing any math. Once you fill those in, you'll need to start doing a little fractional math to fill in the rest of the blanks. So the next information we need to find out is D. The worksheet says the small tray bottom, A, plus 3/16 of an inch will equal D. While you're filling out the worksheet, you really don't have to pay any attention to the text, just the letters. This is where you have to do some simple math. For those of you who don't remember fractions, here's a quick refresher. When you need to add two fractions together, the bottom part, the denominator, has to be the same. If it isn't, you need to make it so it is. The very simplest way to do this is to multiply the two denominators, but this isn't the most efficient way. If you did that with this set of fractions, you'd end up with a denominator of 128. Not really very useful. The most efficient way is to figure out what you need to do to the smaller denominator to make it the same as the larger one. In this case, just multiply it by 2. You have to multiply the top and bottom of 7/8 by 2, which gives you 14/16. You can now add the numerators, the top part, together, giving you 17/16. The fraction works fine like that, but will probably make more sense to you when you go to measure your bookboard if you reduce it. 17/16 is larger than 1, so you take the 1 out, the 16/16, and add it to your other whole number, giving you 7 instead of 6. And that leaves you with 1/16. Voila, you have your solution. D equals 7 and 1/16. Fill in all of the D blanks and then move on to the next letter. By the way, you've probably noticed that the numbers relate to the board pieces, so that makes it easy to cross-reference. I'm just going to do one more very quickly here. That solves for E, so now I can fill in those blanks. So work your way through this first worksheet just like this, filling in all the blanks. Once you finish this worksheet, start on the next worksheet for the paper and book cloth measurements. All of the lowercase letters on this worksheet will be numbers that come from the previous worksheet, so you could start by filling all of those in if you want, or just fill them in as you go. All of the uppercase letters are the new measurements that you'll be solving for. Once you've worked through both of these worksheets, you should be ready to cut your materials. A word to the wise, though. I'm sure you've heard the old saying, measure twice, cut once. That advice applies here. While I'm pretty confident of my math skills, I always do these worksheets twice, and then compare the results. I have on occasion discovered a math error this way and saved myself a lot of irritation by finding it out first before I have a piece of something with glue all over it that doesn't seem to fit quite right. So those are the worksheets. They should help you make any size clamshell box you want.